my name is Caroline, and this is the first vlog in a series I will do about my tumor and what it's like living with it. I got diagnosed in the fall of 2016 with primary hyperparathyroidism. The parathyroid glands are located behind your thyroid, and they regulate the amount of calcium that's taken out of your bones and into your bloodstream. With primary hyperparathyroidism, there is something that has happened to one or multiple of the glands. You have 4 of them. That can be hyperplasia when the gland is enlarged. It can be a malignant tumor, a cancerous tumor, in very rare cases from what I've learned. Or it can be an adenoma or a tumor that's non-cancerous. I have an adenoma or a benign tumor, and I'm getting surgery to remove it 6 days from now. The tumor can, in worst case scenarios, cause like stroke or a heart attack, and lead to an early death, and that's the worst case scenario. But there are a lot of other symptoms like fragile bones, kidney stones, excessive urination, abdominal pain, tired or weakness, depression, bone, joint pain, feeling sick with no apparent reason, and nausea, vomiting, and lack of appetite. I have, from what I have understood, probably had this for about 8 years. I got diagnosed in late 2009 with chronic fatigue syndrome. I think that's what it's called. Not sure. I went to the doctor and I told them my symptoms. I was tired all the time and I had pain and ache in my body, and they were like, oh, it's probably chronic fatigue. And I was like, okay, you're the doctors, you know. And I was sick for a year and a half. And I didn't go to school a lot. I missed my prom. I got better after a year and a half. I didn't get well, but I got better. I still had pain every day. I was still tired a lot, but not so tired that I have to sleep for half an hour after walking up the stairs. It turns out that chronic fatigue and pain, joint pain, is symptoms of the tumor located in my parathyroid gland. In 2011, I noticed my hair starting to fall out, and it got really thin. I used to have thick hair, and it got really thin. I didn't have bald patches. I have seen people with alopecia having bald patches, and it didn't go that far, so I thought, why go to the doctors with it? Turns out it's another symptom. I felt a lot of confusion about a lot of things that I shouldn't feel confused about. I couldn't concentrate, and I thought that might be the chronic fatigue. Might not be. I don't know. It might just be me. I remember in 2012 I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I've been peeing a lot lately. This is a bit intimate, I know, but this is my story and I will tell it. I'm sorry about that. But I was peeing a lot, and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I've been peeing 3 times the last hour, something is wrong. And my mom was like, But honey, you're overweight. It might be diabetes. So I went to the doctors, we took the tests, my blood sugar is fine. I don't have diabetes. And we didn't look any further. So I started experiencing acid reflux, heartburn, whatever you... GERD. That's a nice name. And when I told doctors about it, I was told, but you're overweight and that's not uncommon. And it's not, but that and the peeing, excessive peeing, are symptoms. And then I got depressed, or I had been depressed for like long periods of time throughout my teens, and when I finally talked about it and I then mentioned the chronic fatigue and the pain, it was blamed on the depression, at least the chronic fatigue, and the pain could be both the depression and the fact that I'm overweight. Sucks, I know. Turns out that's another symptom. Depressed, anxiety. And things got a lot worse, and the depression got worse and worse. And with all the other symptoms like constipation and stomach pains, feeling sick without actually being sick, being thirsty all the time, being irritable and like have massive mood swings, irregular sleeping patterns. That was also blamed on the depression. There were a lot of stuff. I have a lot of symptoms, and they have always been placed on either depression or being overweight. So I got a bit fed up. I was like, maybe I'm depressed because I'm overweight and I have low self-esteem. So I've tried to lose weight for almost 10 years and I have only gained weight. So I will ask my doctor for gastric bypass surgery. And there's a whole thing you have to go through before you can get gastric bypass surgery, and one of them is talking to a nutritionist. I talked to the nutritionist, and then she said, you have to go take some blood tests. That's mandatory. Went to take the blood test, and that's when they found my tumor. 6 months later, here I am. So I am scheduled for surgery on March 9th. Yes. And then we will see how it goes. I will leave a link in the description for an animation about this kind of tumor. If you want to learn more about it, check that out. If you like this video and want to continue to follow me on my journey to getting healthy, you should subscribe, and hopefully I will see some of you again. Bye.